Hello, everyone. Good evening. How are you doing? I'm Ajidola Kolawal, Program Associate at Ingressive for Good. Please let me know if you can hear me. I'm just going to wait a few minutes so more people can join before we start. Please let me know if you can hear me.
All right, good evening. I can hear you, ma.
Oh, great. Perfect. I'm going to introduce our guest in a minute. I'm just going to ask people to join in a bit. All right, so I welcome everybody. Welcome John Ken, Oluwadarasimi, Sizuzil. I hope I pronounce that correctly. Olamilekan,
That's the correctly.
Thank you. Welcome. More people are still going to join in, but we just have to kickstart because our time is fast spent, not fast spent, but we ought to have started already. So welcome everybody, and thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, Aliyu, for reaching out to us and offering to speak with our learners. We do not take this for granted at all. This means a whole lot to us because we are always like looking out for experts to come speak with our learners. And because they are approaching the end of the program, right? So we felt like it would be best that they get understanding of what the industry looks like, of what building a career in cybersecurity looks like, and what they should expect as they graduate from the program, right? So that is why Ali is going to be speaking to us on the topic navigating the cybersecurity career landscape, right? I know you all must have been having questions and concerns about what next after this program, and Ali is going to be shedding light on that. So very quickly, I'm going to introduce Aliyu, Yisa, and then I'm going to pass the mic to him. So Aliyu is a cybersecurity professional with previous career experience in software engineering. He's the CEO at Fezzant. Fezzant is an innovative startup that offers accessibility tools. He also co-founded CyBlack. CyBlack is a non-profit supporting the next generation of Black cybersecurity talent. Aliyu is also actively contributes to academic research and open source software. That's like a brief introduction of who Aliyu is. And thank you so much, Aliyu. Hello once again, and over to you. So please tell us how our learners can navigate the cybersecurity career landscape. Even before they graduate, like while they are still learning, how can they put themselves out there, build a career for themselves basically in cybersecurity?
Yeah, thank you very much for that introduction. It's good to be here. Thanks for inviting me. I'm always happy to share my knowledge and talk to the new cats in the cybersecurity industry. So I think a good place to start would be how I navigated my own career, and everything I say here is based on my own perspective. Everybody is going to have a different journey. No two journeys are going to be exactly the same. At the end of the day, you know your own strengths, you know how to leverage on your own strengths, or you should learn how to leverage on your own strengths. And again, there's no single path to a cybersecurity career. So I'm just talking from my own experience. Hopefully that will give you some perspective. So yeah, like Adedolakwa said, I started as a software engineer. And throughout that time, I was always interested in security. How do I protect the applications I'm building from getting hacked? Was a question I kept asking myself as I was developing. So I started to do lots of research, trying to find out the types of vulnerabilities in applications, how to secure applications from vulnerabilities, and realized everywhere I work, I ended up being the security dev. Like, they might not have a security team, so the one guy that's always talking about security will just, naturally gravitate towards being the security guy. So I helped out a lot, did advocacy, tried to get people to develop software securely, and then eventually decided to just pursue my interest fully and dive into the cybersecurity world. You are doing that through the I4G scholarship. I did that using a master's degree. Again, people have different career paths. So after my degree, I did, some research publications, started job hunting. And at that time, I was really like open-minded. I tried my best to get, like, I applied for junior roles, I applied for mid-level roles and all that. Eventually, my first security role was, relatively senior, and I got rejected for junior positions. For some junior positions, I'm just giving you perspective, like, to how what I learned from that experience was that, organizations usually would, they might not see your value, but the key is like finding the organization that would see your value. And another thing is that, I'm sure a lot of you would have previous experience in different fields. You might be coming from software development, you might be coming from software testing, you might be a designer, you might be coming from marketing or law. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. Your previous experience actually like holds weight. Of course, depending on where you're coming from, you might have like a leg up over other people, as well. So yeah, I've been doing that for quite a bit now, and I have, to some extent, like hacked my way through the job market and gotten myself, multiple offers. So hopefully I'll be able to answer some questions and provide some insights into like the job market and how you can, leverage your skills to be able to break into the industry. So yeah, that's just a quick intro to myself and how I started my career. Well, if there are any questions at this point, I'll be happy to answer. Or if you want me to continue, that's also fine.
Thank you so much, Aliyu. Thank you, thank you. That was quite inspiring. I'm like, you say, I think you mentioned something about starting out in senior roles, and I'm surprised, like, oh wow, so I'm sure. So if you have a question, you can just raise your hand. There's a way to raise your hand. Then I'll call you. 508316. Do you have a question?
Yes, I do.
All right, please go ahead.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. There's a
Can
lot
you
of
hear me?
background noise outside.
Sorry.
Can you like move away from where you are?
Okay. Can you hear me, please? Hello?
Yeah, we
Can we
can.
hear me, please? Okay. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Thank you for having us
Oh, I
here.
can hear you.
I'm really glad to.
I
Can you hear me
can.
now? Oh my goodness. Network.
Okay, I
Hello?
think he's experiencing a lag.
Yes, I.
Please ask your question now.
Okay. All right.
It'll be better
My
now.
question is this: I have never been to. I've never uh been into tech world ever before. But when I stumble on the platform for this opportunity to learn cybersecurity, it became a kind of how do I say it? I got disturbed even going through the introduction to cybersecurity because the terminology I am seeing They're just too enormous for me to absorb. Going further, going through the Cisco packet tracer is as if I'm in another world entirely. So I got confused here the more. But along the line, I started picking interest when my interest started growing when I did cyber uh, cyber threat management. That is when my interest started growing. So those things I learned in implementing the cyber security started becoming more realistic in my face.
Oh my
Sorry, who
God.
just
I
me?
don't know.
There's
I had
lots
to
of
mute you. I'm so
background
sorry.
noise.
There's a lot. There's a lot of background noise. Please, if you can hear us, please move away from where you are and try to speak again. I had to mute you because the background noise is a lot.
Or you
I'm
can
so
you
sorry.
can type
Um.
a message as well. That's also fine.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. You can text your questions to the chat and we'll read it for you. So anybody else? If
Hello.
you're shy to speak, you can also type your question. Hello.
Okay. Good evening.
Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I am so grateful for this opportunity that Ingressive for Good has availed to us. And my question is, soon the scholarship will come to an end, and I will have gained a lot of knowledge and maybe information in the cybersecurity sphere. And after the scholarship, I've been planning to take the ISC squared CC exam. So my question is, after doing all that, can I start applying for jobs, or maybe I should first build a portfolio, and then start applying? And should I apply for positions in Europe, or maybe I must be limited to my current location? So I don't know if you got my question. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. So first of all, I will say this. I'll tell you for free. There's no limit to when you can start applying for jobs. I think all of you, as you are now, start applying for jobs, and it's not just because you're trying to get hired. It's also because you want to understand the job markets. You want to understand the jobs that are out there, what skills are required for those jobs. What does it, what are employers looking for? What does the market look like? Where is the demand in the area you want to focus on? Or in entry level roles, what are employers looking out for? And there's you can never lose from applying to jobs, because what's the worst that could happen? They'll reject you or they'll ghost you. That doesn't take anything away from you. So start applying, start polishing your CV with what you have. Put what you have currently, put your previous experiences, put what you're planning, what you're currently working on, and what your future goals are, and just start applying. Like there are entry level positions that you might get hired for, or internships and stuff like that. Just apply. Um, and again, what that does is the more you apply to jobs, the more you read job descriptions, you start to gain a better understanding of the job application process, start to gain a better understanding of what employers are looking for. So as you're applying, of course, on the other hand, you're also improving your skills. You're also building, your technical skills and your soft skills, and you're also building your portfolio as well. So as you keep improving your skills, you keep updating your CV, you keep applying for jobs. Those things are not mutually exclusive. You can do all three, but of course, depending on of course, at the end of the day, it's skills that employers are looking for. So of course, you spend a lot of time developing those skills and building your portfolio, doing projects and stuff like that. but you shouldn't ignore the other side, which is marketing yourself. That's another thing as well. You get better at marketing yourself. You get better at building and improving on your CV. You get better at applying for jobs. So let's even assume now that you are not employable now. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, just assume. Again, you can never know unless you start applying. You can never know whether you're going to get it or not. But let's even assume you don't get it. You don't get employed right now. By the time you get to the point where you have enough skills and knowledge to get that first role, you've already become good at marketing yourself. You've already become good at the job applications, and at that point you are at an advantage ultimately. So the second question, no, you shouldn't limit yourself to your geographic location. I'm not going to see, it's not easy. It's not, there are not a lot of jobs that hire globally, and even the ones that hire internationally, you won't find a lot of them that hire in Africa. You might see some jobs that will be like, oh, fully remote, EMEA. EMEA is just means Europe, Middle East, and Africa. But when you apply, you find out that the A is silent, the Africa is silent. Then why did you put it on the job profile? Anyway, you run into like issues like that. But it doesn't stop you from applying still. Like, you never know unless you apply. Like, by not applying, you're taking yourself out of the equation. I know people that have gotten jobs in Europe or in other countries, like from Nigeria, for example, and sometimes they're working like fully remotely from Nigeria. Sometimes like the employer decides to sponsor their relocation, if that's something you're interested in. So no, don't limit your applications to only your geographic locations. There are opportunities out there. It's not easy. There are not a lot of them, and it's very, very hard, but still do it anyway. You only become better for it. I hope I've been able to answer your questions.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much, sir. And one last question, I'm sorry for entry-level jobs, are they remote mostly, or maybe from that most entry-level jobs are remote?
Again, this just depends on the organization. There are remote jobs. I can't tell you exact statistics, but there are some remote jobs. I mean, there are some entry-level jobs that are remote. There are some that are not. It just depends on the organization. I would imagine it's probably the same as other levels, not just entry level.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Any other questions?
Thank you so much. Yeah, any other question? To ask questions about job search, ask questions about the industry. How should you position yourself? I have a lot of questions, but I know I'm not a cybersecurity person. But ask. This webinar is about you. Okay.
Okay. I guess since nobody's asking questions, I can just raise a few points that I think are very important. In as much as you're building your skills in terms of like your technical skills, building up your knowledge about cybersecurity and all that, you should also make sure that you're built. So it's not about like when you get hired, it's not only about what you know at that point in time. What they're actually looking out for is what can you do, and let me explain what I mean by that. When you get into the industry, you'll find that a lot of things are not exactly as you imagined. Like you'll be in lots of different scenarios where you just don't have enough information to do anything. So you would have to go and research, or you might be in a situation where you have to figure out how to do something that you don't know how to do. In fact, like no matter your level, whether you're entry level, mid level, you're senior, you'll be in like lots of different positions where it's like you have to figure out how something works before you're able to do anything. You might, I don't know, they might ask you to like configure a particular security tool. You haven't worked with that security tool before, so you'd have to go and do a lot of research, problem solve before you're able to deliver that piece of work. So they're not necessarily hiring you because you know everything. They're hiring you because for the expectations of the level you're being hired at, or for the job you're being hired at, they are confident that they believe that you'll be able to deliver, whether it's something that, that is on your CV or not, whether it's something that you have done before. You do lots of different things that you haven't done before. Like no matter how much preparation you do, you'll find yourself in lots of situations where you just literally just have to figure it out. And it's also the same with, different things, like even when it comes to security operations, where you're maybe like monitoring, looking at alerts, trying to investigate. You might be investigating an alert where there are three different technologies in play that you maybe have not even heard of before. Right? It's not to talk of even like fully understanding. Before you're able to investigate what's going on in that alert, you have to understand what those technologies are. My point is that being able to research, being able to like figure things out, being able to problem solve when things are uncertain, that is a very good skill to have, regardless of your level, regardless of which area in cybersecurity you are going into. And a good way to build that skill is to do projects. Like just do projects. By building projects on your own, you'll be exposed to situations where you have to solve problems. And by the way, this is a common question in interviews. They'll tell me about a time where you solved a problem, or tell me about the biggest challenge you've had in your career, or something like that. And, these projects that you do would serve as a good example in scenarios like that. Okay, somebody asked a question about portfolios in the chat.
Yeah, I was going to.
What resources do you suggest we explore in our portfolio building journey? That's a very good question. So it depends on. Okay, so one common portfolio project is building a detection lab in your own environment. Again, this would depend on whether you have like a computer that you have access to that you can use to build such projects. But there are other things you can do, like building a lab environment in the cloud. I know Azure has like a free account that you can create and get like $200 in Azure credits. So you can use that to play around, build systems in the cloud, build security monitoring, try out all the security features in Azure. I know AWS also has a free account that you can use lots of AWS services for free. So if you're interested in cloud, or if you want like interesting projects to work on, that's something you can definitely try out. Then there's also things like try hack me, hack the box, online CTFs that you can do. And then if you get good enough, you can actually try competitive ones. Just go to competitive ones. Doesn't matter whether you win or lose. Like by competing, you get better. You have to get better because you're competing with other people that are also like trying to get better. So win or lose, you still win. That's another idea of projects. Then there's another one which is open source contribution. That's another big one because it's something that you're actually contributing, you're actually making impact in these projects. And there are lots and lots of very important open source projects out there. I mean, like almost every single tech product you can think of leverages open source software. And these open source softwares need to be secure. Like any vulnerability in this open source software would affect potentially, thousands or even millions of users at the end of the day because, open source is like what gives life to software. So you could potentially like go, find open source projects in any like area that you have interest in, um, you know, fork the repository. And don't worry if any of these terms I'm talking about make no sense to you, by the way. It's, you might not be a software developer, you might not know all these things, but it's actually quite straightforward to be able to like create your own GitHub account, fork the repository, and use like a a code scanner to find vulnerabilities in that project. And then any vulnerabilities you find, you can then report it to the contributors of that project. These are just examples of things that you can do to build up your portfolio. Of course, there's also volunteering. Um, there are lots of different initiatives out there that you can volunteer to, you know, um, help other people and stuff like that. There are lots of things you can find like small businesses as well and try to like offer free services to them. Just like basic security assessments. You'll be surprised like the things that you see. Something as simple as like managing their social media accounts. They might not be doing it securely. They might be exposing themselves to risk by like using one very obvious password in all their social media accounts, their email accounts. Now tell me if a small business gets if a small business owner gets like their password compromised and a hacker gains access to their email, their social media accounts, and let's even say their Paystack account. Let's say they're using Paystack for payments. That business has been crippled. So all these things you can just find, it can be people it can be people you follow. You can just reach out to them and say, oh, they're trying to just be open with them. Don't claim you're an expert or anything. Be open with them. Tell them you're trying to build more experience. You're trying to apply your cybersecurity knowledge to help a business, and you want to help them do an assessment and make improvements to their security posture. Something as simple as that can be a very good project on your portfolio. Hope I've been able to answer your question. That was quite a long answer, but I wanted to give as many examples as possible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. You did. Thank you so much. If you have if you have questions, please ask. Um, or you can type it as well in the on the group. I want to ask for because like I think something that Samuel was trying to say was that he's an entry level. A lot of these terminologies are still very strange to him, and he's just trying to like learn them. A lot of our learners are also entry level talents as well. So I want to ask, like in terms of putting themselves out there, how do you think they can I know you mentioned something about them volunteering and taking on internship programs, all of those things, but for like I've not seen much cybersecurity people or talents talk more, like share on social media, like unlike other tech skills whereby you can talk about it like design, marketing, all of those. There's a way that they can strategically sell themselves. How do you think cybersecurity talents can do that as well on social media so that they can maybe attract people or attract the community or attract even recruiters? How do you think? I've not seen much. That's what I'm asking. So yeah.
Okay, that's a very good question. Yeah, I guess we have different TLs. My TL is filled with people that actually like actively put themselves out there. And maybe after this, I can share some handles that you can follow, people on a similar path, people that are maybe like a few steps ahead of you that you can connect with. Because that's the thing. Like, of course, there's value in getting, mentorship from people who are like very far ahead of you. They have that perspective and whatever. But actually, the way you get most of the value is people that are just a few steps ahead of you. Maybe someone that literally just got their first role. They are fresh in that like transition from not having a job to having a job. So someone that just got their first role will be able to give you lots of insights to how they were able to navigate, and it will be more recent as well. Someone with 10 years experience, when they first got their first role was 10 years ago. So things have changed over time. So yes, definitely there are people out there, and how you can leverage on that is, you can write on Medium about things that you're learning. If you learn something new, you can just write about it, just document your journey on like Medium. You can use LinkedIn, Twitter as well. Just staying active. You'll be surprised in amount of attention you get just by staying active, just by posting regularly, if that is what you want to do. Not everybody is comfortable with that. I'll definitely recommend it. It's something that really helps in one way or the other. Any new research that you do, of course, you're always trying to like stay up to date with the latest happenings. So let's say there's a recent breach that happens or there's a recent event that happens, you can read up. Once you read about it, you have your own thoughts on how you see it. Just a few it doesn't even have to be like a full article. You can just like make a post about it on LinkedIn, make a post about it on Twitter, interact. Like when you see other people posting, share your thoughts as well. That's how you start building your network. And this Twitter helps, but LinkedIn, don't underrate the power of LinkedIn as well. Like, I mean, that is where lots of people find jobs. That's where lots of people make connections. And don't be scared to reach out to people. You might say, oh, this person is like director of information security at, I don't know, at Galaxy Backbone or whatever. Like, don't be scared to reach out to people. I'm not saying you should just like spam people and just like send hi or hello. No, if you actually have something meaningful to talk about, you'll be surprised the number of people that would actually like, and the kind of people that will actually respond to you as well. So don't be scared to reach out to people. Just, DM them, but make sure that when you're connecting with them, you send like a proper message, like tell them why you're connecting, read about them as well to show them that you've done your research as well. Don't just like reach out anyhow, because that can get annoying. I mean, a lot of people get lots and lots of messages. They can't reply all the messages that they get. So it's better if you actually like compose a proper message. They'll be more willing to like reply you. So definitely leverage all these platforms to put yourself out there. And again, when you work on portfolio projects like this, write about it. I'm sure you've learned lots of new things from the program that you're doing now. So make sure that you're actually documenting the new things you're learning and try to share it, like put your own thoughts into it. And please don't don't blindly use ChatGPT, please. Like, I know it's tempting because it's like easy and it looks like it's content, but it's always so blatantly obvious when people use ChatGPT. Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't use ChatGPT, but use it carefully, use it meaningfully. Use it, you can use it to generate ideas, you can like make modifications, you can give it content and ask it to like structure it in a different way. There are lots of ways you can use ChatGPT, but don't just like generate content, bam, copy and paste. Like it doesn't create connection. It doesn't make people want to read it. Like once I start reading posts like that, I'll just like skip. It's like not interested in reading this. It always sounds so generic. So make sure you're putting your original thoughts into things like that when you're sharing.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's brilliant. Ayomiko asked the question. He asked, if I want to join, this is somebody shooting his shot or shooting a shot. If I want to join CyBlack for an internship, what are the requirements and processes needed? Interesting.
Interesting. That's a very good question. So the CyBlack internship, um, the way it runs is that we have like specific um communities that we recruit from. So it's not like an open recruitment that anybody can apply to because frankly we don't have that capacity yet to like admit that many people. And even the people that we allow to apply, like we still have to like it's very hard, honestly, because like you can't you can't you can't give every single person that applies the internship. And I wish I could just say I'll send you a link and everybody should apply and you all get internships. Um, but what we can potentially do is that okay, let me before I get there, try to so there are certain communities that you can join that would get take you a step further to like getting the internship. Like Cybersec Haven, for instance, they actually have a very good community, regardless of the internship. They actually have a very good community that, um you can meet other people and you can learn from them. Um, but what we can potentially do is, I will hope this is not recorded. Is this recorded?
Yeah, it is actually. It is.
Okay,
Maybe
that's
send me
fine.
an email.
No, 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 it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's not a
Okay.
problem. I'm not making promises. I'm just saying we can potentially like, um, you know, have conversations between CyBlack and I4G to see if we can take, even if it's just like 3 or 5 people, at least
Mm-hmm.
we're building bridges between the communities. But yeah, that's unfortunately that's not the answer I would have liked to give you, but you know,
No worries. So, I hope that answers your question in part. Ayomiko. All right. So, Olamilekon asks, does CyBlack works with any organization here in Nigeria that has a physical office? Would appreciate a list of those and for communities to join. Yeah, I'm going to follow up with that to get the list of communities and people that Aliyu was trying to like highlight earlier on. So Olamide is asking if CyBlack works with any organization in Nigeria that has a physical office.
so CyBlack is fully remote. We don't. I mean, it depends on you what's behind the question, like what you want it for. But we partner with lots of organizations in Nigeria. I mean, we're fully remote. We don't have a physical office. But depending on what you want, we might be able to connect you with someone or an organization that you can talk to. What do you need the physical office for? Do you need like a space to go and work or something?
Okay, he said maybe for internship or entry level jobs.
Oh, okay. Are you okay? I think might know where the question is coming from. Is it for like placements or COS or like that kind of thing?
The NYCPTA or something like that.
Yeah.
Likely.
You know what? Just send me. Wait, what's going on? Am I still in the chat? Okay, I'm still here.
Yeah.
Okay. Just feel free to send me a DM, maybe on Twitter or even on Telegram, and we can discuss further. But no, we don't have
All
an
right, sir,
office.
no problem.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Aliyu. Any other question? Someone is trying to type. Hi.
Hello, Miss Lawa. Can I speak now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead. We can hear you.
Okay, just quickly. Yes, like I mentioned earlier, how what exactly can I do to really put myself into tech fully? For I know cybersecurity is vast. It has different branches, routes, and the rest of it. You just need to discover where you love, you have passion, and work through it and develop your capacity there. But now, I don't have any tech skill. Is it advisable to start maybe after I'm done with my courses under this platform now? Is it advisable for me to just go and learn something in tech, like a professional, field, like for instance now, software development, like software development? Is it advisable that I should go in that way and learn that, then come back to cybersecurity and find my way? Is it possible?
Anything is possible. Yeah, it's possible, but let me let's let's take a different route. What background do you have? Yeah, you don't have a tech background, but what's your background in?
My background is electrical engineering.
Okay, good. You have, is that just what you studied, but did you work in that field before? Or do you work in that
I've
field currently?
worked after my graduation. I didn't really work in electrical field, but I worked in telecom for a while, for like a year in telecom. Where I was in the optimization team where we diagnosed various GSM networks, 2G, 3G, 4G.
Okay,
So
so
I
what
worked
was
there.
your role in telecom?
I was a drive test engineer. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I learned. Yeah, drive test.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so you have some work experience, you studied electrical engineering, but you have no background in like IT and stuff like that, which is fine. You don't have to go back again. Like I said, that was the path I took, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to do the same thing. That would be like going back. I mean, you're already on your cybersecurity journey. Um, so I wouldn't say you have to now go back and start learning something different before coming back. But what I'll say is try to build your fundamentals in terms of in terms of networking. You need to have like a solid understanding of how how networks work. Um, you need to have a solid understanding of IT in general, um,
Okay.
which will help you in cybersecurity. Because the thing is, what cybersecurity is about is protecting organizations and enabling organizations. And what are you protecting in those organizations? Assets. There are digital assets, there's technologies, there's software and stuff like that. But to be able to protect these assets, you have to have like a good understanding of how they work before you're able to protect them. That's why you might get confused with lots of terminologies and stuff like that. But the thing is that if you think about it, right, yeah, fine. Some people have technical background, but everybody, including people that have technical background, at a point in their life, they were not technical. They started somewhere. They had to like learn a lot of things. So if they can do it, you can do it as well.
Okay, thank
So
you.
what
Lastly,
I'll say is, so there's something else, right? There are
yes,
different areas within cybersecurity. I'm not saying you should try to hyper specialize at this point. At this point, the priority is just to get yourself in the door. Like enter first. Once you enter, you can now start to specialize after gaining like 1 or 2 years of experience. But here, now the priority is to enter, get an entry into the field. So it doesn't matter, what you end up doing. Just try and enter first, and then you can specialize. But what I'm saying is that your background in telecoms and electrical engineering will come in handy when we start talking about operational technology in cybersecurity. So that's also something to keep in mind. You might want to go and do a little bit of research on that and see what it's about and how you can leverage your previous experience. Um, do you currently still work in telecoms?
no, 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 no. It wasn't even in Nigeria. It was in Mali. I was in Mali. I
Okay,
did my time there, then went for field operation, then was sent on project to handle personal leadership, which I was.
okay, that's fine. So something I'll say to everybody here is that if you are currently working wherever it is you're working, whatever job role you're currently doing, try to um figure out how you can leverage that job that you're currently doing to get into the security industry. What do I mean? You're currently working for an organization. Try to find out if they have a security team. Try to find out who works in the IT department, who works in technology. If you're already working in IT or in technology, that's even better. Find out if there's a security team in that organization, and if there's no security team, you have a big opportunity there to start, become a security advocate. Try to like talk about security. Let them know that you have knowledge in security. Let them know that you're interested in gaining that experience, and working in security. Because guess what? An opening might come, and if you're already working in that organization, it's easier for you to just like step into that position. But even if that doesn't happen, you have the opportunity to still help your organization from a security perspective. Start doing security today, wherever you are, whether you're working, whether you're part of a community, whatever it is. And if there's nothing like that in your life, start with your own life. Start applying security in your own life. Assess your personal security posture. Are you reusing passwords? Has any of your details been revealed in a security breach? What software are you using? Do you have um an antivirus software on your laptop? All these things. Try to like just incorporate security into everything you do. Big Sam, I'm not going to say it's easy. It's not going to be easy, right? But it's a gradual process, and you have to like allow yourself to grow, like allow yourself to breathe. Um, it's going to take a lot of time, but the main thing is just that consistency. Like you have to stay consistent. You have to don't let like a day go by without doing anything cybersecurity related, even if it's just listening to a podcast. And I'll send a list of podcasts that I would recommend for anybody trying to get into cybersecurity. There are podcasts I also like listen to as well. Hopefully, I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, you are. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I came across a cyber security guru. He's a friend, although he's a senior brother. So he told me this on Sunday. He said I should go and understudy Wireshark. So when I opened this, I got scared. I said, oh God, how am I going to assimilate all of this? But then I took it as a challenge. Now that you have said this, I think I have to go back to his advice. Let me go and see what the Wireshark is all about. But so far, I have seen that it's just a data collection, monitoring, and the rest of it, which is part of few things I've read in the course of my network defense that I'm doing currently. So thank you. I won't give up. I'll get there. Maybe someday I'm gonna be like this, giving people tips on how to go. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Someday you're definitely going to be great. Everybody is going to be great. So we are all rooting for you. I'm going to allow Aliyu to share any closing remarks that he has for you guys, and then we can wrap up. It's almost 5 o'clock already. Yeah. So Aliyu, any final words to our listeners?
Why do you make it sound like I'm about to be executed?
No.
No, okay, yeah. So, yeah, just stay consistent with your journey, and again, priority is to get in. Think like a hacker. Like a hacker will do reconnaissance. Try to understand all the systems, services that are running in an environment. Try to understand the landscape of the job markets. Do that reconnaissance. Try to find your pathway in. Find any and every ethical way to get into the industry. Don't get distracted. Try to be focused. You'll find lots of information online. Some people start talking about this is the path you have to take. There's no single path that you have to take. So, fine, take their insights, learn from them, but just know that if you try to follow every single thing online, you might just get distracted. So yeah, take what you can, but don't allow it to like dictate what you do as part of your career path and your career journey. So yeah, it's a journey. Stay consistent, build your CV, build your projects, put yourself out there, and make sure, like, be very loud about it. Let every single person in your life that comes in and every person that comes in contact with you know this is what you're interested in. This is your skill. Just be so that you never know where the opportunity might come from. Network well, because a random connection that you make at an event or something can be the path for you to get into the industry. So keep striving. Very soon, I'm sure a lot of the people here will be out there mentoring other people as well. Stick together, form your communities, and I'll see you at the top. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Aliyu. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you. So this is recorded, and I'm going to share the recording after now. Yeah, so keep learning, continue taking your courses, keep asking your questions. We still have Aliyu on the chat box. On the group, like, is still there for now. So you might just like respond to some of your questions as well. So enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. Bye bye. Thank you so much, Aliyu. Thank you. Bye bye.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, bye.